It has been a crazy offseason for the Grizzlies. It's been a big offseason for the Grizzlies. I think one of the bigger stories that's come out over the last couple of weeks is just kind of where Ja Morant is, what he's been doing, his offseason, what it's looked like. Some videos have been coming out, and I wanted us to talk about this a little bit. The videos have been coming out of Ja Morant on his Nike tour. He's going to be going to right now. He's in China, going to go to Japan. I don't know the other spots. Have you seen the other spots that he's going to be going to? He's
I
going to
hope
be
it's
doing.
Memphis.
Yeah, I hope one of them is Memphis, right? Doing a worldwide tour of the Ja threes, the Nike tour that he's
Yeah.
on. Just a phenomenal event, a phenomenal tour that he's been, promoting him and
Yep.
all the things that he's doing. His shoe, everything that the best selling shoes that he has for Nike. But some videos have been coming out, and I have a video that I want to show you of his time in China. And it's from the Catch 12 Media guys. So shout out to them. Shout out to Shot by Knee for putting this together, or Shot by Nye for putting this together. But it's a phenomenal video, kind of highlighting kind of his the love that he's experiencing over there. So let's take a look at this. Damn.
Feeling good.
DG, just kind of give your thoughts, man. What are you thinking about that? How does that video, seeing Ja out there doing what he's doing, promoting himself, promoting Nike, promoting the Ja shoes? Gosh, how does that make you feel about Ja right now this offseason?
Yeah, so just like in the chat, everybody's saying a happy jaw is a scary jaw. And it is. Like sometimes you need a reset, whether it be in your professional life, your personal life. Maybe they go one on one, maybe they go hand in hand, whatever it might be. But like you need a reset. And sometimes you kind of got to take maybe a trip into where there is no self-service, Luke. And maybe you do that to get yourself back to where you need to be. And that really, I think, in my opinion, that's what we're seeing with Ja Morant is he's finding himself and he's finding
Yeah.
that there is true love out there and that he is a just a superstar in this game. And honestly, what that does, that allows you to kind of be yourself because you kind of find yourself. And that's really where it comes down to. I think Ja is growing up and I think he's realizing who he really is out there in the streets.
Yeah, he said he had a tweet the other day that I just thought I loved it. I sent it to a group chat and was like, "Man, I love this."
Yeah.
He said, "Man, some people think I'm flexing out here when I'm really just proud of myself."
Right.
I love that mentality of just kind of feeling comfortable in his own skin, right?
Yeah.
Like we've seen Ja go from being a 19-year-old young man coming into the league, a rookie as a 19-year-old. Now he's 26 years old,
Mm.
has a daughter that's growing up. She's 6, 7, 8 years old. Just more established, more sure of himself. As a man, we know, like, and when you're 19, dude, we're still playing with mud. Like, we're still,
Right.
out there just goofing around, being silly, immature in a lot of ways. Once you get older, you start having kids, man, your life is just the maturity levels start
Yeah.
to increase. You start to realize who you are. And
Mhm.
and I see that with Ja. I see that, and it's easy to take those like beautiful little highlighted clips and package them together and tell a story. But it feels like that's what we're seeing out of Ja, is that he is more comfortable in his own skin, that he is understanding kind of who he is, and what that means for the Grizzlies, and what that means for the team that is paying him a lot of money to be the leader on this team. Do you think that
Yeah.
do you think this can somehow translate to in October when they're starting to play real live games? Like, what do you think we're going to see out of Ja as a leader for the Grizzlies this year?
Honestly, I think this is the put up or shut up year. And I don't mean that into the point of like, if they don't win a championship, like it's over for Ja. I mean, like, it's time for him to grow up. Like at some point, like your parents they sit down and have a conversation with you, bro. It's time to grow up. You're too young to do these stupid things. And honestly, that's kind of where he's at with this franchise. And I think that's where he's at with the fans. The fans love him. Like nobody understands the love of John Morant, whether it be worldwide, nationwide, whatever it might
Yeah.
be. Nobody understands it like Memphis fans. Like we know who Ja is as a player, and we know really what he brings to a team, a fan base, and honestly a city. So I think it is the time to put up or shut up, and I think it's time to grow up. And I think that he's doing that not into like he's being forced to do that. I think
Right.
he's becoming that person himself. But just like so, Edward in our chat is 26 years old, just the same age as Ja. Okay, Edward knows how it feels. I feel the very same way that LeBron does. Okay, me and LeBron born the same year. I've always had that. Not that I have in my peak still, because I'm way out of that part of my life, but
You're in your
I
peak.
I was always thinking back, like, what is like the prime, like, and I'm like 26, 27, and he's out doing these crazy things, LeBron. And as I get older, I have kids. I'm like 37, 38, and dude's still balling. Like I think I put myself in those shoes, and I know Edward probably does the same thing. And you realize, like, dude, they live in a whole nother world than we do. They don't do the same stuff that we do.
Right.
And because of that, I think that we're going to see Ja grow up, and we also have to be a little easy on some of these guys because they still are humans, but they're still trying to find their way.
I think this is listen, you've come back with the swing. You in your first show back, you compared yourself to LeBron James. Drew
Yes.
Drew says age is the only thing DG and LeBron have in common. Wayne was like, did he really just compare himself
I,
to LeBron James?
I won as many championships as LeBron has won. Mine might have been in the church league, but it is what it is. I won my spot where I got in. Get in where you fit in.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I will say this. I think you're still in your prime. As much as if you were to grow the beard out like LeBron, would it be as patchy gray? I'm seeing a little bit here. Like,
Mhm.
is it? Yeah, you're in your prime, bro. You're good. But no, I agree with you, man. I love I love seeing this, kind of see it is this is what I love about the NBA so much, more so than even college basketball. Like you get to see guys like back in the day, we used to see players, we'd see them, as an 18-year-old freshman coming in, and then you'd see them graduating 4 years later,
Mhm.
and you'd get to celebrate them and all of that, especially with the transfer portal and NIL stuff, that's gone. You see a player for a year and you don't even know who he is, right? This is what I love about being a fan of an NBA team,
Yeah.
having an NBA franchise in my city, is that you get to see guys come into the league and then they're with your team in your city for so many years. And it's just, you get to see them growing up, and there becomes almost this level of attachment to them,
Yep.
like you're watching one of your own growing up. Like you're seeing your nephew, you're seeing your whoever it may be just growing up, and you're like, man, this is awesome. And so I love what I'm seeing out of Ja this offseason. I do think that we're seeing a maturity, a growth, a comfortability within his own skin. And that can only bode well for the Grizzlies in terms of like coming back and him being the leader of this team. It is very clear after this offseason that Ja Morant is the alpha,
Mm.
the dog, the guy on this team. And if we're seeing good things out of him this offseason in terms of just his mental, we've never questioned the physical side of Ja outside of the injuries, even though I would say to you last year, a lot of those injuries were car crash injuries that he got into, that he was in, that he had, right? Like
Yeah.
injuries that just are not, it's not this like, he's having consistent groin strains. I was in the air and I got clipped out of the air and I was out for 6 games, right? Like those
Yeah.
kinds of things. But the question that we've always had, and it's something he's discussed as well, is just growing mentally,
Right.
growing in maturity. And I think we're seeing a growth in there. And I love it, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it.
He's gonna
Um,
have to he's gonna put himself in good spots as a player, and I know understand
yes.
players understand that. Like you got to put yourself in a good spot so you don't take those big injuries, those big hits. But honestly, I have a lot of questions about the offseason and then what's upcoming for the season. I know we're going to get into a little bit of the ups and the downs of
Yeah.
the offseason, but my biggest question overall is what happens if they get off to a slow start? Because
Mm,
you're going to be without Edie, you're going to be without Jaron, you're bringing back a guy in BC from an injury. you're starting, Landale potentially like that. That's unless you want to go with Santi. There's a lot of questions, and I'm questioning if they get off to a slow start, is it going to be just a bad season because they can't get out of their own way? And that's really where we don't know that, and there's no way that we can put them in that spot. But I think you're going to have to see a LeBron esque performance from Ja and kind of just taking over the team and being a true leader.